What's going on, guys? Big Jerr back again. So, in a lot of modern music, electronic, pop productions, even hip hop, the drum sounds are larger than life. And they get this way through a process known as sample layering. In fact, this snare right here has 4 layers. You can see them right down at the bottom. All right, let's check out what this section sounds like and listen to the drum we're going to create together right now. Okay, so let's jump into it. All right, so this is going to be a recreation of the drums from the verse point 2, right? When the drums actually come in with the filter coming off. All right, great. So I've left the MIDI pattern, but that's the only thing I've left. Everything else I've taken away. And we're going to build this from the ground up so you guys don't have any fear when you're trying to do this. Okay, cool. So here's our sample pack. So we're going to go into our kicks folder so we could populate our drum rack, all right? We have a boom kick. Okay, that's going to go right here. I'm going to put everything in the same spot. All right, we've got our filtered verse kick, but we're not going to use that. We've got our verse kick, which is right here. Okay, and we've got our drop kick, which is down here. Okay, and then we're going to go into our snares. Make sure not to go into the processed folder. That's the one that's already layered and everything. Okay, so we're going to add our drop snare right into here. And then we've got our verse snare, which goes up top. And we'll start with layer 1. So first thing we're going to do is make sure that everything is in tune. I'm pretty sure it already is, but I don't want to skip this step. I want you guys to see this live in action. Okay, so what we're going to do is solo our verse kick. And let's go ahead and check for our fundamental. Remember, we're in the key of D flat minor, so that doesn't mean we have to tune everything to D flat. I like to tune things to the root and the 5th. So in this case, it'll be either D flat or A flat, whichever one's closer. All right, here we go. So we're right on, okay? G sharp, A flat, they're inharmonic equivalents. They're the same note. The next thing we're gonna do is add a little bit of wave shaping to our kick to get it loud. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go into our folder here. Go down to wave shaping and drag that guy right on in. Okay, perfect. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make a little point here. I'm going to bring it up to the top and we want to move it over like this. So the more we move it over, the louder it's going to get, but we don't want to get any distortion or bad signals, right, at the expense of volume. So here we go. Say right there, no good. There we go, pretty loud. Without it. With it. Big difference, awesome. Okay, super. That's gonna help us get that volume that we want. Okay, cool. So now our kick is sounding pretty good. Let's get our first snare in there. Okay, so we've got this guy in. Let's go ahead and solo him. Okay, there's a lot of reverb in here, and that's fine for a sample, but we're going to probably want to add our own. So let's go ahead and attenuate that. And we could use our fade in, fade out. If you guys don't see this, just make sure that you're in one-shot mode. That way you'll get that right down here. Perfect. Okay, great. Now let's go ahead and make sure that we're in tune. There we go, right there. And it looks like it's a G, right? So we're a little bit off. So what we're going to do is pop that up 1/2 step, okay? Boom. There we go, G sharp or A flat. Awesome. Now, another thing I want to talk about real fast is this right here, these filters here, okay? We always want to roll off the lows. It's one of those hard and fast rules. So we've got built-in filters right here. These allow us to take care of that right inside our simpler or sampler. I'm going to go ahead and roll off right up to the fundamental so I could take it all the way up to like 130, no problem. Perfect. Now what's really cool here is that we've actually got some analog modeled filters right in here. The PRD is the profit board, okay? This is known for its beefy low end. The MS2 is modeled after the Korg, okay? And that's known for its bitey mid-range. This is Ableton's hybrid between the two. Okay, and this is OSR. It's just kind of a mild one, right? So let's go ahead and add a bit of drive with some of those analog filters. Okay, cool. And let's do the same thing on the kick. Always want to roll off about the 35 on the kick. Save that room for the sub. Okay, but we don't want to lose too much power, so let's bring it back. Nice, let's go ahead and check that out. Let's turn off this boom kick for now. Okay, good, we're looking good. Now, let's go ahead and start layering in our snares, okay? Cool, so what we're gonna do is actually put this into a group, Command G, all right? And then we can open up our chains and we can lay them right in here. Let's go ahead and bring in the rest of our snares, okay? And we'll turn them on one by one. Okay, so let's see what we're working with here. We've got this guy we just heard. Okay, we got this guy. Make sure we're in tune. C sharp, D flat, perfect. Perfect, D flat again. And a C, so we're a little bit off on this one, no big deal. Go into one-shot mode, grab our transposition, pop it up right there. Okay, great. So now let's listen to our snares here and see if we can start creating a scene, okay? So this guy is definitely a bit wider already, okay? So let's find one that's a little bit more mono. Okay, this guy's gonna be our transient anyway. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and zoom in, make sure that we're not getting a little bit of weirdness on our input. Perfect. Okay, I love that. And we're gonna definitely go ahead and roll off up to the fundamental. And we can give it some drive. Nice. Okay, great, love that. And just to be certain about this, why don't we go ahead and make sure it's in mono. Okay, so we'll grab a utility, pop it right here, and make sure we're in mono. So let's go ahead now and play the two snares that we have. Okay, now, they're kind of stepping on each other a little bit. This guy's supposed to be our transient. Okay, so we don't need to hear the transient from this one. So let's go ahead over to our fade in and fade that guy right out. Okay, cool, we could already hear it coming through better. And we're gonna do a little bit of volumizing right now, okay? Nice, there we go. Okay, remember guys, when you're layering, doesn't matter if it's drums or synths or whatever, we don't want to over-process. All we really want to do is add some EQ to shape it, and we want to add some spatial stuff maybe. A little bit of saturation, that's about it. Okay, so let's keep moving on here. Okay, this is gonna be our low one, right? And we're gonna make this a bit mono too. So I want to create like a diamond almost, where it's mono on the top, okay, then it goes a bit wider, and then it gets mono again. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's get another utility here. Pop it on there. Go into mono. Okay, cool. And maybe we'll control that a little bit here. Okay, cool. So now let's go ahead and emphasize the width over on the first snare. Okay, so we can do it a couple of ways. Let's go ahead and be a little bit aggressive with it, exaggerate a little bit, and we'll add wider to it. Okay, this is a great plugin that adds width to your sound, to any sound. Okay, we're just gonna turn it up a little bit. Cool. So we can hear that on the sides now. Let's go ahead and mix those three together. Nice. Okay. Okay, super. Now we have our last sound, which is like our doinky sound. Let's hear that. Okay, cool. Let's get that guy in there. First of all, let's go ahead and do our low cut. and be a little bit generous with the drive. Okay, let's hear how this sounds now. Okay. One of these guys is standing out a bit. Maybe it's that one. Yeah, it is. So let's bring it down a bit. Awesome. So now for this guy, I want to make it sound like it's got a little bit of space. So let's add some reverb to just this one. Okay, so we could do that by going up into our plugins, and we'll drag that right onto our doink layer here. Cool, let's bring that a little bit down too. Remember, when we're layering sounds together, for me, the trick is I want to hear them all playing, but I don't really want anything to jump out and take over. I hope you guys are finding this useful. If so, I want to let you know that this is just one video of a full course I'm going to be releasing with Evenant called Massive Electronic Productions. We're going to be creating a future bass song in the style of artists like Illenium. In this course, we'll be going through the song creation step by step, taking it all the way from analyzing our reference track to creating our chord progression to actually populating the full song with tracks. We'll be covering all of the processing. I'll also be giving you guys a full list of free amazing VSTs and instruments you can download to work along with us. We'll be creating that huge wall of sound supersaw stack. In fact, Evenant is going to be hosting a live stream with me where I go in depth showing you guys exactly how to create these crazy supersaw stacks. And you guys can come and ask some questions if you want. We'll be then going into the mixing and mastering phase of it. Ableton sessions will be made available for each and every video, and a full sample pack will be included so you could literally work along with us. Alright, so if you guys are interested, head over to the Evenant website for some more information. But let's get back to drum processing now. Alright, the first thing I'll do is add a little bit of wave shaping. That'll put everything through the same distortion. Okay, right here. Make sure we put it outside so all the snares get it, but not the kick. Okay, here we go. Okay, super. So, sounding good. The snare is definitely louder than the kick. So let's go over to our chains and turn them down. So I'll open this up right here. And we've got some volume right here. So we'll go to our rack and we'll bring it down a bit. Remember, your kick and snare want to be about the same volume. Okay, super. So let's go ahead and blend in this guy here. It's going to play every 4 measures one time. What we want it to do is give our drums a little bit of weight right at that moment. So first of all, we want to put this guy in key, but we're going to do it in a different way this time. All right, we're going to go and grab a drum bus. Okay, cool. And what we're going to do, this is a very aggressive plugin. I'm going to turn it down and I'm going to tune it right here. So if you notice when I turn this, this note changes. Okay, so I'm going to bring it down to a D flat. Okay, and I'm going to click this just to make it perfectly on pitch. Boom. All right, and then let's go ahead and hear it. Okay, let's turn the boom up. Okay, so we don't want it distorting, so let's get rid of some of those lows. Okay, we're going to add them back anyway. There we go. Sounds nice. Okay, great. Now, remember I said this was an aggressive plugin, so we're going to go and turn the wet and dry down. And we actually don't need anything in the higher frequencies at all either, so we might as well kind of EQ them out. Now let's get rid of everything above 80 hertz. You can see it's even down here, right? So we could even move it down further. There we go. Okay, so now notice that there's a little bit of a gap here. I'm actually going to leave it there for now because I want my kick to hit and then I want this one to happen. So check this out. If we zoom in, the transient's right here and we're looking like, I don't know, 5 milliseconds. You can see it right here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here and kind of match that. So we're gonna bring it in a little bit, so something like this, and then that'll match that 5 millisecond gap. Nice, okay, that really comes in perfect. Okay, maybe we'll give it a little bit of resonation. Yeah, maybe a little bit of PRD. Yeah, there we go. Here it comes again. Okay, awesome, sounding really cool. And the fact that they're not hitting at the same time really separates them, which actually helps glue them together. So now we've got our kicks and snares layered. Okay, we had 4 stacks here with our snares, and then we had just 2 with our kick. Now, the reason that I stacked these guys in an instrument rack and did not over here is because these hit every single time together. Okay, so since they hit every single time together, these guys here, I'm sorry. So since they hit every single time together, I don't want to treat them as 4 different sounds. I want to treat them as one sound. On the other hand, the 2 kicks do not mimic each other. They actually have different roles. So stacking them in the same instrument rack just doesn't work. All right, cool. So we've already kind of gone over the processing. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time doubling back over things that we've already done. However, I do want to call your attention to one thing. So the snare now has 4 layers, and I can already tell it's got some frequency buildup in a few areas, plus a little bit of harshness. So this would be a great time to do some real EQing. Up until now, we've just been cleaning, getting rid of the lows so we can stack them on top of each other. But now that it's functioning as one stacked snare, I want to EQ it all together. All right, let's drag this Pro Q in before our wave shaper and see if it'll show us where the frequencies are. I click it once and it turns blue and everything stays. All right, now I know that this is probably a problem as well as 3.9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little node here and then at 3.9 as well. But we're going to check. We're not just going to assume that it's right. What we're going to do is go ahead and hold our headphones down. And then if I hold down Command as well, I could push up and down on my mouse and I could find the spot that's potentially problematic. Okay, let's get rid of that a little bit. We'll do it dynamically. Okay, cool. And let's check this guy out right here. Okay, cool. A little bit of harshness there. Perfect. Might as well roll off those lows. And we don't need anything above 10K either. And let's give it a little bit of beef at the bottom. I'm going to probably attenuate that reverb a little bit. Let's bring it down a few percentages. Okay, great. So I wanted to give you guys an example of what I might do after I've layered them, right? So I definitely want to get them EQ'd and shaped up now that they're stacked on top of each other. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video and found it useful. Also, don't forget to head over to the Evenant website if you're interested in the course. And if you guys want to make some amazing supersaw stacks like this, don't forget to sign up to the live stream. All right, guys, catch you later.